Hello everyone, I Rachna H. Kalapnavar, lecturer in Electrical and Electronic Department, Jain Polytechnic, Belgavi. In this video, I am going to cover some properties and types of semiconductors of semiconductor and diodes unit. For more videos, subscribe my Architect YouTube channel. First, we'll see what are the contents of today's video. First, we'll see what are the properties of semiconductor. Next, difference between conductor, semiconductor and insulator. Types of semiconductors, next doping and types of extrinsic semiconductors. One by one we'll see in this video. First is the properties. Before I start this, first that is lecture 1 we discussed about some conductors, semiconductors and insulators, definitions and examples, and energy band diagram of the conductors, semiconductors and the insulators. So first, properties of semiconductors. First is the resistivity of semiconductor lies in between that of conductor and the insulator. What is semiconductor? Its conductivity is in between that of conductor and the insulator. Same way, resistivity also is lies in between that of conductor and the insulator. Its conductivity increases with the increase in the temperature. If you go on increase the temperature, then conductivity also, that is if you are giving thermal energy, then the conductivity also increases in case of semiconductors. They have negative temperature coefficient of resistance. What is the negative temperature coefficient means? The resistance decreases with increase in the temperature. What will happen? Resistance value decreases if you increase in the temperature, that is conductivity will be increases. That is the meaning of that. Don't get confused. Resistance decreases with the increase in the temperature means negative temperature coefficient, and resistance increases with increase in the temperature means positive temperature coefficient. All the semiconductors and the insulators have a negative temperature coefficient, and the conductors are having the positive temperature coefficient. In the case of semiconductor, if you adding some small amount of impurity, conductivity can be changed. Impurity is nothing but any other materials that I'll discuss in the next coming slides. Then the conductivity also increases. Next, they have crystalline structure. See, you can see in this video, the crystalline structure is nothing but all the molecules are arranged in the proper manner. Here it is not arranged in the proper manner. It is a non-crystalline and crystalline. So semiconductor is a crystalline structure. Next, they are formed by covalent bonds. Covalent bonds are nothing but the sharing of electrons from one atom to other atom. That bond is created. So that is called as the covalent bond. Here hydrogen one atom and hydrogen one atom, see here hydrogen one atom and hydrogen one atom is bonded by the covalent by sharing a one each valence electrons. So they are formed by one atom to next atom, they are formed by which bond? Covalent bond. Next we'll see difference between conductor, semiconductor and the insulator. So first one, conductor having a positive temperature coefficient, semiconductor negative and insulator also negative. Next, you know the definition. What is that? Conductor which allows the electric current, semiconductor conductivity lies between conductor and the insulator, and insulator which do not allow the current. Conductor has a number of free electrons. Large number of free electrons will be having, semiconductor will be having a very few, and insulator will be not having any free electrons. In case of conductor, if you go according to the energy band, there is no band energy gap between valence band and the conduction band. In case of semiconductor, there is a small band energy gap between valence band and the conduction band, and in case of insulator there is a large band energy gap between the valence band and the conduction band, and the valence band and conduction band will be overlap each other, and semiconductor it is having a small electric field. It is not overlapping. We require small electric field to push electrons from the valence band to conduction band. Here it is required insulators large electric field. And in the case of conductor, copper, silver, gold examples, and in the case of semiconductor, silicon and germanium, insulators wood, plastic. And in case of conductor, forbidden energy gap is 0. For semiconductor it is 1 electrical volt, and for forbidden energy gap is 15 electrical volt. Next, we'll see some electron and hole pair and how the hole is formed. When the valence electrons drift from valence band to, see, you can see here, this is a valence band and this is a conduction band. When the electrons will jump from this valence band to conduction band, what happens? There will be one vacancy will be there. It is created. That vacancy is called as hole. So, when the valence electrons drift from valence band to conduction band, one vacancy will created. That vacancy is called as the hole. Then how the hole current and electron current will be flowing? See, flowing of electrons is constitutes the electron current and flowing of holes constitutes the hole current. But how it is? See, I'll take one example of this. Assume here these are the electrons. Here one gap is there. It is jump out from this. So what happened? To fill this hole, this electron will jump from this here. Then what happened? Here again one hole will be created because this electron is jumping here, means again will here one hole created. Again here one hole is created, like this jumping of holes, that is moving of holes to fill that other hole vacancy. There is a movement of holes. This constitutes the hole current. Next we'll see types of semiconductor. In that first one, intrinsic semiconductor. Second is the extrinsic semiconductor. Intrinsic semiconductor. The semiconductor in their purest form are called as intrinsic semiconductor. For example, silicon and germanium are the examples for the intrinsic semiconductor. Extrinsic semiconductor, in order to make the use of intrinsic semiconductor, some amount of impurity is nothing but what other material we are going to add for that. The resulting are called as the extrinsic semiconductors. See, intrinsic semiconductor in their pure form, one point we have to remember here means complete stable condition of the atom, we require the 8 electrons in the outermost shell. It will require, if it is 8 electrons, then it is a completely filled and completely stable. Okay. So in this pure intrinsic semiconductor, one atom is having 4 valence electrons, one more is having a 4. So 4 and 4, they will be doing the bonding, then completed by the 8. Then there is no free electrons. It is nothing like it acts as a insulators only. So only we are adding some amount of impurity. Impurity is nothing but what some other materials we are adding to the intrinsic semiconductor so that it can be conducting. So it starts the conducting. So in order to make the use of intrinsic semiconductor, certain amount of impurities added, that results in are called as the extrinsic semiconductors. Always remember, intrinsic semiconductor we are not going to use in any electronic devices. Only extrinsic semiconductors we are using. So difference between intrinsic and extrinsic is, intrinsic is nothing but what? It is an extremely pure form. Pure silicon, pure germanium are the intrinsic semiconductors. Extrinsic is an impure form, means we are adding some impurity. That I will discuss in the next slide. What are the impurities? That is other materials we are going to add for the intrinsic semiconductor so that it can be conducting. The intrinsic semiconductors, what happen? Number of electrons equal to the number of holes here. Yes, 4 here, one atom will be having a 4, other atom will be also having the 4 valence electrons. So it will become equal. In case of extrinsic, it is not equal. The electricity conductivity is low, almost nil, almost in the intrinsic, but in case of extrinsic, it is a high. The electrical conductivity mainly depends on their temperature. Here the electrical conductivity depends on the temperature as well as the how much amount of other material, that is impurity, they are adding. It is depends on that also. Examples: pure silicon and germanium, here N-type and the P-type semiconductor. Next, doping. The doping is a process of adding impurity to the pure semiconductors to increase either free electrons or holes. The doped semiconductors are called as the extrinsic semiconductor. I told already for that. Intrinsic semiconductor, we have to add some impurities. Impurities means other materials we have to add. So such materials are called as, such our process is called as the doping. In that again types are there. Pentavalent if impurity, that is the 5 valence electrons if you are adding, then it is called as a pentavalent impurity. The atom which is having a pentavalent 5 valence electrons you are adding, it is called as a pentavalent impurity. Next, if you are adding a trivalent, that is 3 valence electrons, if you are adding means it is called as a trivalent impurity, that is a 3 valence electrons. In case of pentavalent impurities there will be large number of free electrons. In case of trivalent impurity there is a large number of holes. And again, depending on that, there are two types of dopants. One is a pentavalent dopant and is a trivalent dopant. The impurity added is called dopant and the resulting doped semiconductor is called as an extrinsic type. Okay. Next, there are two types of impurities used to obtain two different types of extrinsic semiconductors. One is a p-type and next is a n-type. The impurity having a 5 valence electrons is called a pentavalent impurity. When this is added, each atom donates one free electron and such doping is called donor doping. The examples of pentavalent impurity are arsenic, bismuth, phosphorus, etc. This creates a n-type extrinsic semiconductor. Next is the trivalent dopants. The impurity which has 3 valence electrons is called a trivalent impurity. When this is added, each atom creates one hole which is ready to accept one electron. As a one hole is created means it can be accepting the electron. Hence this is called as a acceptor doping. It is a accepting, that is taking one electron. So only it is a acceptor doping. The example of trivalent impurity are gallium, indium and boron. This creates the p-type extrinsic semiconductor. That the difference in that types of extrinsic semiconductor we'll see now in the next slide. So first I told that n-type. Here what happened, one small amount of pentavalent impurity we are going to add to the pure semiconductor. Then what happened, n-type semiconductor is formed. Examples, arsenic and the antimony. Just we'll see this one example. See here. Here is your arsenic impurity, that is other material we are added to the germanium. Germanium is having a 4 valence electrons. Again next continuation diagram will be there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again here 1, 2, 3, 4. So like this 4 valence electrons it will be having. Arsenic will be having how much valence electrons? It is a pentavalent impurity. It is having a 5 valence electrons. See, these 4 are busy in the forming these covalent bonds with the germanium atom. So one is a left, that is called as a free electron. So this free electron constitutes the electron current. Like this, so many for one arsenic atom, from one arsenic atom one free electron we got. Like this, from so many arsenic atoms we will be getting so many free electrons. That constitutes the electric current. It is a giving the one free electron, that is a donor. It is a negatively charged, always electrons in the negatively charged. So this is about the formation of n-type semiconductors. So similarly, how is the formation of p-type semiconductor? Means when a trivalent impurity are adding, then it becomes the p-type semiconductor. So it will provide the large number of holes. How it is providing, we'll see in the taking one simple example. Example for the p-type semiconductors are gallium and the indium. So just see this image. Here same germanium, it is having the 4 valence electrons. Here one more will be 4. Again here 1, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like this, it is having 4 valence electrons, and gallium will be having how many valence electrons? 3 valence electrons. 2, 3. One space is vacant here. So this is called as the hole. So one hole is created means the electrons will try to jump from other side, other atom to this fill the hole. Again there will be one creation of holes, again to this vacancy to be filled by other electrons. So like this whole movement will be there. So because of this, the constituted current is called as the hole current. It is a positively charged. It will be accepting the electron. So it's called as the hole. It is called, this type of semiconductor is called as the p-type semiconductor. Here we are adding the trivalent impurity atom. So this is about the n-type and the p-type semiconductor. So today's video we discuss some properties of semiconductors and what are the difference between conductor and semiconductor and insulator. We can tell like definitions and example, and with respect to energy band diagram you can differentiate all those conductors, semiconductor and insulators difference. Next, types of semiconductors. Intrinsic is a pure, extrinsic is a adding some amount of impurity. Next, the some amount doping, that is adding a impurity is called as a doping, and some amount of pentavalent and trivalent dopant we discussed. And types of extrinsic semiconductors are p type and the n type extrinsic semiconductors we discuss in this video. Thank you.